October 20, 2000, Mandalay Bay Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Over the Olympia weekend, fans gathered to witness the most prestigious competition in the sport. With a hefty prize pool of $325,000 up for grabs, the pressure was palpable, and the expectations of the athletes was immense. One notable absence was Qyxz Coleman, who had taken third place the previous year, but was sidelined by an untimely injury just weeks before the contest. His absence left a huge gap in the lineup and opened the door for other competitors to climb the ranks. The spotlight centered on a mix of seasoned athletes and hungry challengers. Most heavily awaited were Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler, and Sean Ray, each known for their distinctive physiques and strengths. Levrone arrived in peak form, showcasing his trademark aesthetics and polished stage presence. Wheeler, who was renowned for his flowing lines and symmetry, was another favourite, though some critics noted a slight decline from his past showings. Ray, who was always a model of consistency, brought his usual sharp conditioning and classic structure. Also in contention were Nasser El Somebody with his huge size and density, Australia's Lee Priest with his compact yet impressive frame, and Marcus Rule, who always shocked the crowd with his extreme mass. Meanwhile, rising stars Jay Cutler and Dexter Jackson began to hint at their future impact on the sport, as they both displayed potential that suggested they wouldn't be underdogs for long. When all was said and done, Ronnie Coleman once again proved untouchable, delivering an unmatched blend of mass, symmetry, and conditioning. He earned a perfect score to claim his third consecutive MrOlympia title. Levrone took second with one of his best performances to date, while Wheeler secured third. Ray landed in fourth, ever disappointed with his placing. Cutler and Jackson, though placing 8th and 9th respectively, left room for improvement. The night was Ronnie's, claiming his third consecutive Sandow Trophy and $110,000 in prize money.
And a check for $110,000 to the three-time Olympia champion, Ronnie Coleman.
Could he claim his fourth? Only time would tell. From October 26 to 28, Mandalay Bay Arena in Las Vegas once again played host to the big dance. The 2001 MrOlympia boasted a record-setting $400,000 prize purse and a stacked lineup. But beyond the prize money and prestige, all eyes were fixed on the head-to-head showdown between reigning champion Ronnie Coleman and fast-rising contender Jay Cutler. Cutler arrived with arguably the best package of his career to that point: sharp conditioning, improved symmetry, and stage presence. Fans and critics alike were convinced that this could be the year that someone finally dethroned Coleman. This said, I don't want to underplay the rest of the card. Kevin Levrone returned in top form, Sean Ray once again delivered a masterclass in presentation, Qyxz Coleman battled through lingering effects of a past injury, and Orville Burke made waves with his sheer mass. Like some which came before it, this event wasn't without its share of offstage drama either. Controversy erupted when Jay Cutler and Marcus Rule both failed drug tests for banned diuretics. However, those results were overthrown after it was discovered that the testing lab lacked official accreditation from the International Olympic Committee, allowing both men to retain their placings. In the end, after one of the most tightly contested battles in Olympia history, Coleman narrowly retained his crown, edging out Cutler by just 4 points. This near miss would become the spark for one of the sport's most iconic rivalries. Kevin Levrone and Sean Ray rounded out the top 4. Due to the mere 4-point gap between Jay and Ronnie, fans and critics alike were starting to wonder if 2002 would be Jay Cutler's year.
In the moment of truth, Ronnie Coleman, 4-time Mr. Olympia. Jay Cutler, first-time runner-up and $60,000 richer. As Ronnie Coleman, known for his trademark dropping to his knees for the 4th consecutive year, Jay Cutler receives the silver medallion, the $60,000 prize money. Jay Cutler, admirable, gallant fight all the way to the finish for the 4th year in a row. The policeman out of Arlington, Texas, Ronnie Coleman, as Jay Cutler has to wonder what he has to do to upset the champion.
Regardless, this year, Ronnie Coleman would take home his 4th consecutive Sandow and the $110,000 in prize money. Returning once again to the Mandalay Bay Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, with a total prize pool of $381,000 and a brand new 2003 Cadillac Escalade awarded to the winner courtesy of Bodyonics Pinnacle, the event promised high stakes and fierce competition. Fans packed the venue, eager to see whether reigning champion Ronnie Coleman would extend his reign or if a new contender would rise to claim the throne. Speculation ran wild, especially after fan favourite Gunther Schlierkampf's upset victory over Coleman at the GNC Show of Strength just weeks earlier. The audience was awash with excitement, hopeful for a shift and a shake-up of the status quo. Veterans like Kevin Levrone, Chris Cormier, and Dexter Jackson arrived in top form, adding further depth to an already stacked lineup. Each participant brought a unique package to the stage. As the evening unfolded, performances were met with both cheers and scrutiny. Tension mounted as fans awaited the final callouts, with murmurs of controversy already brewing over the placements. Schlierkamp, in particular, received thunderous support from the crowd throughout the competition, fueling debate about how his momentum would translate into the official results at the Olympia. Interesting side note, Bob Ciccarillo, now the Master of Ceremonies of the MrOlympia competition, placed 18th this year. You may have noticed that I did not mention Jay Cutler. This is because he chose not to compete, stating that this was due to a few reasons. Firstly, because he was swamped with life commitments, including building his dream home in Vegas. Secondly, he won the Arnold and had numerous guest posing opportunities, which arose due to his increased notoriety, and he didn't see the need financially. And third, because of his sour relationship with showrunner Wayne DeMilia.
But was that experience, I always felt like that was why you didn't do the Olympia you only skipped the Olympia 1 year after that, right? It was a 2 year.
Yeah, there's a number of reasons, Ron, but for me, it was a huge plus just to be second. I mean, I moved up from 8th. And the reason I sat out, remember, I went to Arnold and won in 02, that carried over. I won a lot of money. I won a Hummer truck. I won the Rolex. And I started building my home in Vegas. And I was in prep building my pool at the time, which was a 3-month process. And you know what? I was starting to flip real estate then, and I was financially making a ton from guest appearances. That second place at the Olympia propelled my guest fees like crazy. And I had the mail order running at that time with jcutler.com. And financially, I just didn't see the reward, especially when I came so close and it got away from me. I was only 100,000 for first at the Olympia then. Right. For first, I won 60 for second. So I could make that 100 grand in appearances, no problem. So I said, it's more lucrative to ride out this second place to Arnold victory. Why waste my time going to the Olympia? It wasn't necessary. And I didn't feel it necessary to compete. I didn't need the Olympia back then. And Wayne DeMilia was running the show then. And he was kind of to be honest,
But back to the Olympia. The most debated outcome of the night was Schlierkamp's 5th place finish, a result that sparked loud boos from the crowd and reignited ongoing discussions about fan versus judge analysis.
And they will take the 5th place award and present them to Gunther Schlierkamp.
He might as well have won this show tonight. He just did. Yeah, he did. In his mind, he just did. Incredible.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, you made my day. That means more to me than the placing. Thank you very much.
What a class act. He's a real gentleman.
When the final rankings were announced, Coleman held on to his crown, though the margin of victory doubled at 8 points. Levrone secured a second place, pushing Coleman with one of his best packages to date. Cormier followed closely in third, while Dexter took fourth with symmetry and definition in equal measure, traits which were now trademark Jackson. Regardless, Ronnie successfully claimed his 5th consecutive Mr. Olympia title and $110,000 in prize money. And fans and critics alike were convinced that he would make it 6 in 2003. The 2003 Mr. Olympia was once again held at the Mandalay Bay Arena, with a record-breaking prize pool of $404,000, including $110,000 cash, and a brand new Cadillac Escalade courtesy of Pinnacle Supplements for the winner. The stakes had never been higher. But who would grace the stage? Illness forced top contender Chris Cormier to withdraw just days before stepping on stage, though he still made an appearance at the press conference. Meanwhile, other athletes like Kevin Levrone and Art Atwood pushed through injury and participated regardless. Aussie fan favourite Lee Priest, though beloved by the crowd, struggled to crack the upper tier of the lineup, finishing lower than expected. But there were also other off-stage highlights that made the night even more special. Firstly, Arnold Schwarzenegger made a surprise guest appearance. Second, Lee Haney, holder of 8 Mr. Olympia titles, was honoured with a Lifetime Achievement Award presented by the IFBB and Flex magazine. And third, Franco Colombo, a 2-time Mr. Olympia and longtime friend of Arnold's, received not 1, but 2 special awards. He would also jokingly rub this in Arnold's face, stating that he was happy that he was blessed with 2 awards, while Arnold got nothing. When the dust finally settled and the results were announced, it was an American sweep of the podium. Ronnie Coleman once again reigned supreme, earning a perfect score across all rounds to capture his 6th consecutive Mr. Olympia title and $110,000 in prize money. His combination of staggering size and razor-sharp conditioning left no doubt about his dominance. Cutler, continuing to close the gap, claimed 2nd place for the 2nd time, while Dexter Jackson's aesthetic, balanced look, and highly developed muscle maturity earned him the bronze medal. Germany's Dennis James and Gunther Schlierkamp rounded out the top 5. The question rose again: would Ronnie win again the following year? Only time would tell. The 2004 Mr. Olympia contest was held on October 30 and 31 at the Mandalay Bay Arena in Las Vegas. It attracted worldwide attention not only for the $400,000 purse, but also for a major change in how the contest was judged. 2004 introduced the challenge round, a new format that had the ability to radically alter the final outcome. Under this new system, the scores from the first 3 rounds were discarded once the top 6 was determined, with final placings decided solely through a head-to-head showdown in the challenge round. This format aimed to inject more excitement and unpredictability into the finals, but all it did was spark debate. Critics argued that it unfairly dismissed the consistency shown in earlier rounds, reducing the importance of the sustained excellence in favour of a single, potentially skewed comparison. More vocal backlash came from an athlete. Although he indeed placed 3rd in traditional scoring across the first 3 rounds, Dexter Jackson lost to Gustavo Bedell in the final challenge round. This change bumped him from 3rd to 4th, off the podium, and decreased his prize money from $50,000 to $40,000. However, this was the only significant change, and the other placings were unaffected. Despite the presence of formidable physiques like Marcus Ruhl, Gunther Schlierkamp, Dennis James, and Victor Martinez, none seriously challenged the top tier. In the end, Ronnie Coleman reaffirmed his supremacy by capturing his 7th consecutive Mr. Olympia title and $120,000 in prize money. He dominated both the initial rounds and the challenge round, being awarded with a perfect score in the initial and 24 points in the final showdown. Jay Cutler once again finished 2nd with 30 points in the initial rounds and 21 points in the showdown, marking his 3rd runner-up finish. Regardless, Ronnie continued to reinforce his legacy, and set his eyes on equaling Lee Haney's record 8 titles in 2005. If you're keen for some more Qyxz content, why not check out this playlist in which I analyse every Mr. Olympia contest ever. Alternatively, do you remember Dana Lynn Bailey? Do you think she was always natural? Check out this video next.